I didn't expect to see her again. Not there. Not like that. It was a Thursday afternoon, the kind of day that felt ordinary, until it wasn't. I had just finished a meeting and stepped out toward a cafe across the street when I heard a voice I hadn't heard in months. Her voice. I turned, and there she was, Vanessa, standing with a group of friends, laughing like life had never touched her, like she had never walked away from someone who was drowning. For a second, I just stood there, not frozen, just observing, because the truth was, I wasn't the same man she left behind. Still, I walked toward her, not out of love, not out of pain, just closure. "Hey," I said calmly. "It's been a while." She turned, and the moment our eyes met, something shifted in her expression. Recognition, then amusement, then something worse. She looked me up and down slowly, taking in everything, judging everything, before letting out a short, sharp laugh. "Oh, wow," she said loudly enough for everyone around her to hear. "You're still around?" Her friends chuckled. I felt the weight of that moment, not because it hurt, but because it revealed exactly who she had become. "I just want to say hi," I replied, steady. She tilted her head, unimpressed. "You should have stayed gone," she said, dismissively waving her hand. Another laugh, louder this time. That moment told me everything I needed to know. Not about her, about me, because the man she thought she was laughing at didn't exist anymore. My name is Jason Carter. I'm 28 years old, and for the longest time, I believed that if you loved someone enough, they would never leave you when it mattered most. I was wrong. I met Vanessa 3 years ago at a friend's birthday party. Nothing dramatic. No instant fireworks. Just a conversation that lasted longer than it should have, and felt easier than anything I had experienced before. She wasn't loud, but she knew how to hold attention. The way she spoke, the way she looked at you, it made you feel like you mattered, and when she chose to focus on me, I gave her everything. Back then, I was stable. I had a solid job, a clear routine, and a vision for my future. I wasn't rich, but I was disciplined, focused, consistent, the kind of man who builds slowly, but builds something real. Vanessa said she loved that about me. She said I made her feel safe. She said I was different, and I believed her. So I invested in her, not just emotionally, but mentally and financially. I supported her ideas, helped her plan her goals, stayed up late helping her figure out things she didn't understand. I didn't mind, because I thought we were building something together. But looking back now, I was building something alone. The beginning was effortless in a way that makes you lower your guard. Vanessa was attentive, consistent, present. She would text me first thing in the morning. "Good morning, you crossed my mind," and call me late at night just to talk about nothing. We spent hours planning a future that felt so certain at the time. She talked about moving in together, about building something long-term, about loyalty and partnership, like it actually meant something to her. "You're the kind of man I see myself marrying," she told me once, resting her head on my shoulder. And I didn't question it. I doubled down. Every time she needed something, I showed up, not halfway, not sometimes. Every time, I adjusted my schedule to fit hers. I made sacrifices without keeping score, because I believe that's what real love looked like. Effort without hesitation, commitment without conditions. But what I didn't realize was this. I was giving her consistency, while she was giving me convenience. It didn't change overnight. That's the dangerous part. It started small, so small I almost convinced myself it meant nothing. She would cancel plans at the last minute with casual excuses. Something came up. "I'm tired. Let's do another day." At first, I understood. Life happens. But then it became a pattern. She stopped returning calls on time, started replying hours later, then days. And when I asked about it, she didn't apologize. She minimized it. "You're overthinking. You're too available. Relax." That word, asterisk relax asterisk, became her way of dismissing anything that made her uncomfortable. So I adapted. I pulled back slightly, gave her space, tried not to seem too much. But here's what I didn't understand at the time. The more I adjusted to keep her, the less she respected me for staying. Vanessa had ambition, but no direction. She wanted success, but she didn't have the structure to achieve it. That's where I came in. I helped her map out her goals, broke things down into steps she could actually follow. I introduced her to opportunities she didn't even know existed. When she struggled, I stepped in. When she lacked discipline, I compensated. And when she needed money to invest in herself, I didn't hesitate. I gave freely because I believed in her, because I believed in us. But the more she started seeing small results, the more something changed. She stopped saying thank you, stopped acknowledging my role. It became her success, her progress, her glow up. And I told myself that was okay, because we were a team. At least, that's what I thought. Success changed her, or maybe it revealed who she really was. She started comparing me to other men, subtly at first. Why don't you dress like this? Why aren't you thinking bigger? You're too comfortable. It confused me, because everything I was doing was for stability, for growth, for the future we talked about. But in her eyes, stability became boring. Consistency became predictable. And suddenly, I wasn't enough. Not because I lacked value, but because she stopped valuing what I gave. Then life hit me, harder than anything before. I lost my job. No warning, no safety net, just one meeting. And everything I had built collapsed in minutes. For the first time in years, I didn't have control. And for the first time in our relationship, I needed her, not financially, emotionally, mentally. I thought she would stand by me the way I stood by her. I thought wrong. At first, she said the right things. We'll figure out. I'm here. But her actions shifted almost immediately. Her calls became shorter, her tone colder, her patience non-existent. She started treating my situation like a burden, like my struggle was inconvenient for her. And then came the distance, the kind you can't ignore. One night, I called her. I needed to talk. I had just been rejected from another job opportunity, and everything felt heavy. She didn't pick up. Later, I saw her online, posting videos, laughing out with friends. When she finally replied, hours later, it was one sentence. I'm busy, we'll talk later. We never did. That was the moment something broke inside me. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, completely. When she ended it, it didn't feel like a breakup. It felt like a transaction being closed. I think we should go our separate ways. No emotion, no hesitation, no fight, just done. I asked her why. She shrugged. I just don't feel the same anymore. 3 years, reduced to feeling. That was the moment I understood something I wish I knew earlier. She didn't leave because I lost everything. She left because I was no longer useful to her. The silence after the breakup was louder than anything she ever said. No calls, no messages, no explanations, just absence. At first, I kept checking my phone, expecting something, an apology, a moment of regret, anything that showed I meant something. Nothing came. Instead, I saw her online, active, posting, smiling, like she had been set free. That part hurt more than the breakup itself. Not because she moved on, but because she moved on so easily, like I was never lost. I replayed everything in my head, tried to figure out where it went wrong, what I could have done differently, what I should have seen earlier. But deep down, I already knew the truth. I didn't lose her. I lost someone who never truly valued me. A week later, I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. A picture, her with another guy, clothes, comfortable, smiling in a way I recognized too well. It wasn't just a rebound. It was replacement. And the timing? Too perfect. That's when everything clicked. She didn't leave and then move on. She moved on before she left. All those late replies, the distance, the coldness, it wasn't confusion. It was preparation. I wasn't her partner anymore. I was just someone she hadn't officially replaced yet. And when she did, she didn't look back. That realization broke something in me, not just emotionally, mentally. I stopped sleeping properly, stopped eating regularly. My mind was constantly replaying memories, comparing the version of her I loved to the person she became. I felt foolish, used, replaceable. Everything I gave her felt wasted, and the worst part, I still missed her. Not who she was at the end, but who she pretended to be in the beginning. That illusion was hard to let go of, but eventually, pain does something powerful. It forces clarity. One morning, I woke up and felt something different. Not happiness, not peace, just exhaustion. I was tired of thinking about her, tired of questioning my worth, tired of being stuck in a version of my life that no longer existed. That day, I made a decision. No more looking back. No more checking her page. No more giving energy to someone who gave me nothing when I needed it most. That wasn't strength yet, but it was a beginning of it. I didn't have motivation, so I relied on discipline. I started small, fixing my routine, waking up early, applying for jobs, even when I didn't feel confident, learning new skills, improving myself quietly. There were no announcements, no comeback posts, just work. Every rejection hardened me. Every small win rebuilt me. And slowly, I started becoming someone new. Months passed, and for the first time since everything collapsed, I felt in control again. I got a new job, better than the last, more demanding but more rewarding. I improved my finances, my mindset, my environment, and most importantly, I stopped needing validation, especially from her. I wasn't the same person anymore, not emotionally, not mentally, not even physically. I carried myself differently, thought differently, moved differently. I didn't chase. I didn't explain. I didn't overgive. And I definitely didn't tolerate disrespect. That version of me, she helped create him. She just didn't realize it yet. So when I saw her again and she laughed, it didn't hurt. It confirmed everything. She still saw me as the man she left, the man who struggled, the man who needed her. That was her biggest mistake. Because she wasn't laughing at who I was. She was laughing at who I used to be. A few weeks after that encounter, she texted me, "Hey, how have you been?" I stared at the message for a long time, not because I didn't know what to say, but because I realized something. The power had shifted. Before, I would have replied instantly. Now, I didn't feel urgency, so I didn't respond. Not that day, not the next. When I finally replied, it was simple. "I'm good. Hope you're doing well." Nothing more. No questions. No emotion. She responded quickly, faster than she ever used to. "Oh, wow, that's it?" Faced with tears of joy, I didn't answer. And that silence, it bothered her, because she wasn't used to not being in control. Over the next few days, she kept reaching out, asking questions, trying to start conversations. Suddenly, she had time. Suddenly, she was interested. But I kept everything short, respectful, distant, exactly how she treated me when I needed her. Eventually, she found out about my job, my progress, my lifestyle, not from me, from others. And that's when her tone changed completely. More effort, more curiosity, more attention. The same attention she couldn't give me when I had nothing. She asked to meet, in person, just to talk. I agreed, not because I missed her, but because I wanted to see something for myself. We met at a quiet restaurant. She looked the same, but her energy, different, less confident, more careful. She tried to reconnect, smiled, laughed, brought up old memories like nothing ever happened. Then she said it. "I think we made a mistake." I looked at her, calm, composed. "No," I said quietly. "You made a decision." She froze. I just learned to accept it. She tried to explain, tried to justify, tried to rewrite the past. But I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't show emotion. I just stood up, looked at her one last time, and said, "You lost access to me the moment I needed you, and you chose to walk away." Then I left. No anger, no drama, just closure. That silence, that indifference, that was a revenge. She didn't lose me when I struggled. She lost me when I leveled up and chose not to come back. Because the truth is, Anyone can stay when things are good, but very few people stay when things fall apart. And those who leave, they don't deserve a second chance when everything is rebuilt. I didn't need to hurt her. I didn't need to insult her. I didn't need revenge in the way most people think. Because watching her realize that she could have had the best version of me, but chose to walk away instead, was enough. And me, I kept moving forward. Without her, for good.